I'm here to give my predictions for The Walking Dead episode 8 titled Coda. Now, let's get started with my predictions and speculations. Okay, we see Bob running off on foot once he knocked out Sasha. Now, I do believe in the next episode, Rick will indeed find Bob. And I do believe that Rick will chase Bob on foot. And I think that scene itself will pay homage to the Walking Dead comic book. And also, you will see some similarities. And remember, Robert Kirkman will be on The Talking Dead this Sunday. So you will definitely see some similarities from the comic book that's going to be in this episode. Now, if you're familiar with the Walking Dead comic book, remember when Rick had went to Woodbury and the governor had kept him there and he couldn't leave. The governor was asking Rick, where's the prison? Rick would never tell him, would nobody tell him where the prison was at. Now, the governor cooks up a plan. He tells one of his men, Martinez, he says, look, I'm going to have you help Rick escape. Well, I'm going to have you help Rick escape Woodbury. Now, once y'all escape, Rick is going to feel that he can trust you. Now, that leads to him bringing you to the prison because, as I just stated, he thinks he can trust you because you helped him escape Woodbury. Now, once you get to the prison, I want you to get there, find out the location of the prison, and then you hurry up and leave the prison and come back to Woodbury, and you tell me where the prison is at. Now, I'll let it happen. Martinez helped Rick escape Woodbury. And Rick felt like I can trust him. He kept his word. I'm going to bring him to the prison. He can stay there with us. Now, once Martinez gets to the prison, he ends up leaving the prison on foot running, just like Bob is doing. Just like Bob is doing at this moment. He ends up running on foot from the prison, and Rick ends up using a vehicle to catch up to him. Now, once Martinez is running, Rick is in the vehicle. He hits Martinez with the car or the truck. Now, once Martinez is down, Rick stands over him because he's very angry at that point. And then also Rick felt like, I can trust you, but now I see you trying to betray me. So Rick ends up beating Martinez to death and killing him. I think the same thing will happen with Bob. Okay, Bob running on foot. Rick ends up getting into the blue police car that we saw Bob in when they had first took Bob as hostage. Boy, Bob and that female. Now, once Bob is running, Rick ends up getting in the car chasing them. Now, the car might run out of gas, or Bob might be running through some shortcuts that the car can't go, or in between short buildings that the car can't go. Rick ends up chasing Bob on foot. Now, he ends up getting Bob. Once he knocked down Bob, he stands up with Bob and he tells Bob, I kind of trusted you. I kind of believe your story about you being a cop. And he's very angry at that moment. You guys also got to remember, there is nobody there to calm Rick down. Because remember, in the previous episode, when Rick is about to kill the other police officer, or at least when he was thinking about it, Daryl was there to calm him down, to talk him out of it. But at this point, it's just going to be Rick and Bob. Nobody there to calm Rick down. That's what I predict. And I can see Rick standing over him just like he did in the comic book to Martinez, and he telling him, look, again, as I just stated, I thought I could trust you a little bit. I believe your story about you being a cop. I don't know what to believe about you now. You might be telling the truth. You might not be telling the truth, but I know I can't trust you. You could have killed one of my friends, meaning Sasha. And I think Rick stands over him and he beats Bob to death and he kills him. That's what I predict and I think will happen with Bob running away. Next, let's talk about Dunn. Now, I think Dunn could possibly be part of that greater good that she mentioned to Bill. I definitely think it's some foreshadowing in that word, part of the greater good. And I don't think the writers would have Rick and his group finish, well, Rick or one of the members in his group finish off Dunn, because it will be too predictable. I think Dunn could possibly get betrayed or get killed by her own police officers. Because remember, they don't want Dunn as the leader. They was already planning on taking Dunn down. But they already said that Dunn was smart and she knew it already. That's the only reason they didn't really make their move yet. Now, this is what I see happening. I can see Rick close to the hospital. I can see him firing a shot in the air or him talking real loud. Now, in the promo, we see Dunn running in the hospital with a gun in her hand. Like I say, I can see Rick outside of the hospital, outside of the hospital parking lot, firing the shot saying, look, come out, I want to make a trade. And I can see Dunn running in the hospital that we saw in the promo with the gun in her hand. I can see her running to a window trying to see what's going on. And Rick tells them, come outside and let's make this deal happen. Okay. Dunn and the other police officer ends up coming to meet Rick. And we see Rick putting his gun, his python down with his hands up. And we also see Daryl. We see Daryl. We see Sasha on top of the roof with snipers. Now, I can see Sasha with the sniper kind of aiming it on one of the police officers that come with her, because you got to keep your aim. You have to keep your aim on one of the enemies just in case they try to fire on the main person trying to make the deal. I always keep aim on them. Now, once they get ready to make the deal, I can see Dunn coming up. I can see Rick talking to Dunn. Now, Dunn might agree to a deal, but the other police officers might not agree with it. So they might end up getting into a scuffle with Rick instead of Dunn herself. Therefore, I think once they get into that scuffle, Dunn is left by herself, and her word don't mean a thing. So I think the other police officers will escape and go back to the hospital and leave Dunn there by herself. And now I believe that Dunn will be forced to work with Rick now, because now she finally saw that the police officers that was with her has finally made their move for her not to be the leader no more. And they decided to leave her out there for dead with Rick. But instead of Rick killing her, he tells her, look, he can use her. He tells her, look, well, come on, we can go to the hospital. You show me how this place works. I think that's how it's going to happen. Because again, if Rick ends up, if people think Rick's going to kill Dunn, or somebody from his group is going to kill Dunn, it will be kind of predictable. It have to be a type of surprise. Something's going to make the viewer say, wow, I didn't expect that to happen to Dunn. Now, once that happens, I believe Dunn taken to the hospital. She ends up fighting her own police officers. But in that situation, I think Dunn will possibly die, because, as I stated before, she died for the greater good, and she realizes Rick is the greater good because he's strong. Next thing I want to talk about, or what I predict could happen, we see Father Gabriel outside of the preschool that Garrett was outside when they had Bob Leg cooking it. And you also see Bob Leg still in the grill. You see maggots. You can tell it's been outside for a long time. It's starting to decay. You see maggots on it, and it's starting to smell. You see Father Gabriel goes into Garrett's backpack, or somebody's backpack, and find the Holy Bible. Now, in that scene, you see those zombies is starting to really crack that window in that preschool. I think that those zombies will get really, really, really aggressive. At the same time when them getting mad, they will end up cracking that window and end up getting out that school. Now, I think this could possibly happen in the middle of the episode. The zombies crack the window. Father Gabriel take off running. Now for the final moments of the episode, I think that scene will tie together on putting us on the big cliffhanger to what's to come for episode 9. I think Father Gabriel ends up taking off running. The zombies follow him to the church. Therefore, it's a lot of zombies. So, by the time they get there, you see Carl, you see Michonne, everybody outside like, wow, this is a lot of zombies. We can't take all of these zombies. But at the same time, I see Glenn and the rest of their group making it up. Also, I see Rick coming back too. Because they are coming back to the church. I see them coming back. And I can see Rick seeing all these zombies coming to the church. And plus, who knows? the zombies that Glenn was in front of at that ranch might end up following them back to the church too. And I can see Rick saying, we can't stay here. It's too many zombies. We gotta go. And I said this on multiple occasions. Father Gabriel does not want to be around Rick and his group. They made it known in the previous episode when he tried to escape the church by going under the church. He don't want to be around them because they're dangerous. I'm telling you, when those zombies come to that church, it's definitely going to set a device up where Father Gabriel is forced to come with Rick now. He don't want to come now, but those zombies will be a device. Them herded zombies will be a device to cause Father Gabriel to come with him. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I believe that will happen in the final moments of the episode. Therefore, it sets up a pathway for Rick and the rest of the group to go to travel through the rest of the woods, and somehow they will end up going to Alexandria's safety zone in the second half of The Walking Dead Season 2. Those zombies will be the device to make them leave the church. So now they're on their way to Alexandria's safety zone, or they might be on their way to somewhere else, but instead they end up going to Alexandria's safety zone in the second mid-season, in the second half. Who I think will die, my predictions. At this point, Coda. Definitely have music signs to it. So I predict that it's going to be Beth. And then also Emily, the actress who portrays Beth, Emily, man, I feel like she has a lot of stuff going on her plate right now. She got music that she probably want to work full time on, but she's not able to do that because she's on the show a lot, filming the show. So it gives her time to definitely do her music thing too. But at the same time, I don't see Carol dying because Melissa McBride, man, she put her heart into that role, man. I remember when she was at the New York Comic Con, and she breaks down crying about Carol's character. She was like, I love her. We've been through so much together, and the passion she has for that character, it's just fucking beautiful, man. I like Emily Clark. I like Beth, but like I say, Emily have a lot of stuff. But at the same time, I think Beth will be the one to die. Because remember, in a promo for this episode, you see Beth by the same elevator that she had got at the hospital. You see Beth by the same elevator door that she had escaped out of with her and Noah. But when you look this time, Beth is like standing up or sitting by the elevator door, but she don't have no bed sheets wrapped around her waist. And I found that funny because when we saw her doing that last time trying to escape the hospital, she had to use bed sheets to wrap around her waist. And Noah grabbed the bed sheets, therefore she can crawl down the elevator. The elevator got to be at least 3 or 4 stories. So it's like a guaranteed death if you fall down there without no bed sheets. And it's the reason why she had the bed sheets, because she knows like almost a guaranteed die. I know there's a lot of zombie bodies piled up down there, a lot of human bodies piled up down there, but that's still kind of far. So I think that scene with Beth standing by that, when Beth is sitting down by that elevator again, or inside that elevator again, she don't have no bed sheets wrapped around her waist. I think Beth is going to possibly jump and die. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be a real suicide. I think she's doing it for a reason. It's a message she's trying to spread with that scene. It's something she's doing, and I think she's risking herself for the greater good. I definitely see that happening. I mean, like I said again, who would be by an elevator that's like 3 or 4 stories and don't have the bed sheets wrapped around their waist like they did before? I think Beth she's gonna jump. And I remember hearing about the hospital is gonna burn down in this episode. I think Daryl is gonna burn down the hospital, but I think once he do, it's gonna be paying tribute to Beth. Because remember when Daryl and Beth had burnt down in house in The Walking Dead Season 4 episode 12 titled Still. Him and Beth had burnt down that house because it burns away your past and it starts a new you. I think Daryl's gonna pay her tribute by burning up the hospital. because I think Rick will get in the hospital, and I think him and Dunn, everybody will get in there, but I think Dunn will be killed in the process of trying to help them, or she could die trying to help Beth. But I think Dunn would definitely have a justified death. But yeah, once they get into it, I can see, or Daryl could have a decision. He could only save Carol or Daryl. No, Carol or Beth. Daryl could possibly have a decision he have to make, and I think Beth not being selfish and sacrificing herself, or is willing to sacrifice herself to save Carol for the greater good. And I think she's gonna tell Daryl, look, don't worry about it. Carol lives. I'm gonna die. You don't have to make a decision, and I think that's gonna happen. And also, when you see Beth sitting down by the elevator, she's fully aware she's about to jump down there. But at the same time, you see her talking to somebody before she do it. And I forgot the dialogue and the words that she said, but she was definitely talking to Daryl or Dunn or somebody. And like I say, you see her by the elevator about to jump, and she's fully aware of this. And the person that she's talking to is probably looking at her like, you don't have no way to get down there successfully, so why are you down there? You do know if you fall down there, you're going to die. So I think Beth in that scene is definitely saying something about sacrificing herself for some type of good cause. And bam, she just jumps. It's over. And I think once she jumps down, Daryl might end up finding her body, because I think Daryl and the rest of the group and Rick will end up coming out the same door that her and Noah came out when they escaped from the hospital. The front side door on the side of the building. And I think once she falls down, Daryl might end up seeing her body on top of the other human beings' bodies that they dumped down there. Like I said, it's gonna hurt. This episode is gonna be depressing. But I think Beth is the candidate to die. I'm just saying, she's more likely the candidate to die. Also, I love the literature behind the name Coda. And I love the literature because it says something that ends and completes something else, right? Is it that Beth's death when she dies? When she dies, she completes another life. She might end up saving Carol, because the literature for Coda is something that ends, something that ends and completes something else. So like I say, I think that's code for dying for the greater good. Okay, I die for you because you're the greater good, right? Could be it. Could be wrong. But hope you guys enjoyed my predictions video. God bless you all. Give me a like on the video and share the video. Please share the video, and please guys, and have a nice day.